Hi everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. Today we're at Holmes Honda to take a look at the 2023 Honda Pilot EXL and see if we can answer the question, do you get more than you pay for? Definitely a lot of options and features here on the EXL trim level, and there's even some you can add beyond what we have. This is a front-wheel drive model, but you can opt for all-wheel drive, which is the case with all trim levels of the Pilot, with the exception of the Elite and the Trail Sport that comes standard with all-wheel drive. The exterior color on this model is modern steel metallic. It does have the black interior and obviously fully redesigned for 2023. Let's talk a little bit about differences in overall dimensions. The wheelbase that you measure from the center of one tire to the center of the other, whether it's front to back or back to front, increases by 2.8 inches. The overall length from bumper to bumper, 3.4 inches. On the front, you're going to have an increase of between 1.1 and 1.2 inches. When you get to the rear, the increase in the width will be 1.4 up to 1.5 inches. Taking a look from the front end, we'll see the LED daytime running lights. And let's see if we can get you down here at the right angle. You can see the LED fog lights also on the lower portion of the bumper down there. A little bit wider and broader looking stance, even though it's not a lot wider. I gave you those numbers just a few seconds ago. So with the way the headlights are designed and the grille is designed, it does give it a little bit wider stance or look and profile. You'll also find the active air curtains right here on the front end, right here on each side, here on the right-hand side. In this case, we'll also have it over there on the left that allow air to flow straight through there and increase aerodynamics, help to make things a little bit smoother as far as airflow goes. And let's talk a little bit about tire and wheel size. As I said, this model is front-wheel drive, so your width is going to be 255. You're going to have a 60 series sidewall, and the rim size will be 18. In this particular case, we'll have the body-colored mirror caps with the turn signal indicators built into the power adjustable, heated but manually folding side view mirrors. And you have right here blind spot monitoring. You also have Honda Sensing, Honda Safety Suite of driving aids. That's going to be road departure mitigation braking, lane keeping assist, traffic jam assist, and adaptive cruise control. You'll also find remote start here on the remote. This is the remote for 2023. Compact, simple, durable, but obviously very effective. It has the walk-away feature. It is a proximity key. And depending on your situation, when it comes to towing, being that there's only one engine and transmission option, the only variable is going to be based on whether you have front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive, as we have here, you're going to tow 3,500 pounds. All-wheel drive will take that number up to 5,000 pounds. We'll have the newly redesigned rear here as well with the taillight, the Pilot logo prominently displayed. Overall, a pretty clean look here on the rear. You'll have the shark fin antenna and the rear roof spoiler to finish things off. And here under the hood, like I said, you have one engine and transmission option, but it's not going to let you down. It's the dual overhead cam version of the Honda V6. So it's making a little more horsepower at 285 compared to 280 with the VTEC V6, the outgoing model had under the hood. Made to do a 10-speed automatic transmission as opposed to a 9-speed automatic transmission. The torque numbers do remain the same at 262 pounds-feet. And let's talk about MPGs. That's always important. Here's what Honda says you should have. 19 city, 27 highway. 22 combined and 4.5 gallons of gas is what Honda says you should use per every 100 miles driven. You do have capless fuel fill, and when you fill the gas tank, it can hold up to 18.5 gallons. And you'll find a power tailgate or lift gate, as a lot of car makers call this, 18.6, up to 86.5, up to 87 cubic feet. Obviously, this is a 3-row SUV. The third row is currently folded down, as you can see right there. You have the cargo cover right here. You also have the dual-sided floor because you can flip this floor over, as you can see right here. You You can either have the carpeted side or you can have the plastic side, depending on your situation. Now let's see how talented I am. Can I get this back in here one-handed? What do you know? Well, almost. Let's see. Okay, we're just gonna leave that like it is. There we go, I got it. One-handed, put that in. So that means it's easy to do two-handed. But there's the plastic side, depending on what you're hauling back here, especially if the third row is up in its upright position and you have something that could potentially stain the carpet or get it dirty, whatever. You can flip the floor over. That's an advantage. You also have plentiful space within the area underneath the floor and underneath the vehicle. Good news here, no tire repair kits here on the Pilot. You have a spare tire. And here with the rear doors, you're gonna have plentiful space. The door bins offer storage space. You also have a couple of cup holder options right there. You also have the rear privacy shades for the doors right here for both sides. And you can also gain access to either side to the third row through either the right side or the left side over there. So no big deal there. And a big advantage here, can increase leg space for the rear seat passengers. As you can see, you can move these seats back and forth. There is a fold down. I don't know if this is really so much meant to be used as an armrest because it does sit pretty low. The kids might use it as an armrest, but adults, yeah, probably not. But you can use it for cup holders and for snacks and whatever else anybody wants to put right there. And we'll hop inside here. Now, you can opt for a sunroof. No sunroof in this particular case. It would be a panoramic sunroof if it were here. So that's a benefit for people. Again, you have a couple of different areas right here with the rear seat pockets. Conventional right here, and then an area, well, looks like it's perfect for a cell phone right here. We're gonna find the same thing on both sides. We'll also find the command center for controlling the fan speed and the air conditioning, the temperature, all that stuff that can be controlled here in the rear or also in the front up there. And also a couple of USB ports back here for rear seat or middle row seat passengers, I should say. And speaking of rear seat passengers in the third row, they'll also have cup holders, air conditioning vents, and as you can see right there, a USB option for connectivity. Looking into the front seat area, we're gonna find plentiful space, just like we did with the rear doors. Nice, comfortable armrest, the white contrast stitching, and the upper and the lower door bins. Here on the EXL trim level, passenger and driver seats both are going to be power. They'll also be heated, no ventilated here. That's not a good thing during the summer here in Northwest Louisiana. But you do have plenty of space here for storing a cell phone or two. And then we'll also find plentiful space within the glove box. Wireless charging here on the EXL trim level. A couple of USB options, a 12 volt. Obviously everything for controlling that 10-speed automatic transmission is here with the push button shifter. You'll also have the power parking brake hold mode, if Tom can keep from getting tongue twisted. I have to give you something to laugh at in these videos, so my tongue twists really do that, right? You will also find hill start assist. Right here you can turn off that auto stop start feature and the driving modes, and we'll take a look at what those are shortly. And here's something that I know a lot of people like to know about: the height of the center console. It works pretty well for me with these power seats in the front for the driver and passenger. You can lower those if you need to make it easier to take advantage of using the lid of the center console as an armrest. And then obviously that reveals plentiful space within. So a lot of good options going on here as far as that goes, but we're not finished yet. Most likely, if you're watching this video, you're going to be sitting right over there in the driver's seat. So let's tell you what you're going to find. And as would be expected, you're going to find a few more buttons and switches and options for controlling things on and around the vehicle. For your side view mirrors, you can control all of the windows here. You can lock those windows or unlock those. You will also find right here a couple of settings for seat memory. And even though there are obviously a lot of vehicles on the market that cost far more than this Pilot on any trim level, I still believe if you have seat memory on the driver's side, you should also have it on the passenger side. You can also open that power tailgate right here, and or lift gate, depending on what you want to call it. Everybody has their different names for it. You can turn traction control on or off right there. You can lower the lever right there and adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. So, let you hear the music that greets you when you get into your Pilot here. That's a nice little treat, I guess. That is just one of the interesting little things that Honda adds value with for the vehicle. But I'll tell you what, one thing that I think definitely adds value here is the fact that you have the nice digital instrument display, the driver's display or instrument cluster. Again, multiple names right there, kind of like the power liftgate, right? So it looks nice, it looks modern. You can go through a lot of information. Push the home button right here a couple of different times. You're going to get some different settings you can go look at. You can also scroll your way. I'm using the scroll wheel right here. And you just push that down when you get to whatever it is you want to see. So let's just say I wanted to select, well, right here and see what my driving range is, all that good stuff. And pretty simple to figure out, pretty simple to use, but yet very effective. And in this case, we have the 9-inch touchscreen. You can connect your cell phone wirelessly here. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility, so that's always a good thing. A lot of good information you can go through here. If you need to make any changes to the vehicle, here's where you come. As far as your vehicle settings go, and it's very easy to find what it is you need to do because Honda gives you these nice graphics. If you ever go back there to the rear and have trouble opening that power tailgate, well, here's where you need to come to make sure that everything is turned on and working properly. And you do have the multi-view rear view camera, as you can see. And when you look over here on the right-hand side of the screen, that likeness from the overhead view of your Pilot means that you have the parking sensors. So that's a good thing. And I told you earlier I was going to show you the driving modes. So let's go through that. The first mode, we're already in that mode. It's going to be normal. So we'll push it into the down position. We'll go to Econ. You can see the graphic over there on the left-hand side of the instrument cluster. And then we'll go to snow mode. If you're going to drive in a lot of snow and ice, you probably already know this, but front-wheel drive is not best for that. All-wheel drive is best. And then you'll have tow mode as well. Got the graphic right there. And then we'll scroll our way back up to sport mode. So that's a good thing. And those are our driving modes. And speaking of driving modes, what a great segue to get out on the road for the test drive. Okay, here we go on our test drive. So how can I quickly describe what it's like to drive the Pilot? Well, it has a nice, comfortable ride quality. It handles well, and for its size, it actually has a pretty good turning radius. Not something you might expect from a mid-size SUV, but it's fairly tight. And depending on trim level, I know this is not what we have here with the EXL, but you go with Elite and Trail Sport, you're going to have multiple camera views, including a front view camera. Not only a front view camera, but it will also have a camera washer for the front view camera. With the Trail Sport, you also have the addition of the Trail Cam. And I will hopefully, if I can remember, I know if I don't, someone please remind me down in the comments section to add a comment. I'm going to pin a comment with a Trail Sport that I've done earlier this year, so you can see that if you want to. So just in case you're curious, the ride quality is good, it's comfortable, and like I said earlier in the video, this dual overhead cam version, minus my little teenagerly voice crack there, this dual overhead cam Honda V6, without saying dual, you know, yep, that's right, you can laugh, it's okay, you can laugh at me, not with me, but this engine is most certainly more responsive. It just doesn't seem to work as hard as the VTEC. So even though you're not making hardly any additional horsepower, I mean 5 horsepower, you're never going to notice that. But when you go down the road and you need to maybe merge into traffic on the interstate, and yes, I'm dropping a hint for some drivers out there, when you're driving faster than that traffic, sometimes you need to do that to be able to merge in. You don't ever drive slower, it makes it hard for the people behind you. But just so you know, you can easily achieve that with what's under the hood here, and with that 10-speed automatic transmission, and you have those multiple driving modes to help with that as well. And the other thing here, besides a roomy and spacious interior, is the fact that you have easy to learn technology here. Wireless connectivity for your phone, so you don't have to have the USB cable to handle that. You know, obviously you have wireless charging here. Somebody else in the vehicle, such as your front seat passenger, may need a USB cable to charge their phone, but there's a lot of options here. A lot of features, a lot of functionality. Overall, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. Tell me down in the comments section. Obviously, the Pilot fully redesigned for 2023. What would you like to have seen change or added that maybe wasn't changed or added? I'm always curious to know and get your feedback. And while we haven't covered every single in-depth detail of the 2023 Honda Pilot EXL, we've hit the high points, that's for sure, maybe a little bit beyond that. Tell me what you think based on that information. Do you get more than you pay for with this trim level of the 2023 Honda Pilot? Tell me what your answer is and tell me why you answered the way that you did. I'm always interested in receiving your feedback. As always, I have to say a special thanks to my friends here at Holmes Honda for loaning me this 23 Pilot EXL for the day, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch and give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and haven't subscribed to the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel just yet, please consider doing so. And if you would like to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the link or the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.